We absolutely love the dawning of a new day, and the reason is quite clear. Yeah. We get to spend another 2 hours and 45 minutes with you.
In your homes, right there, just being there as you start your day. We can't tell you enough just how much this means to us.
Yes, indeed. So we implore you to start each day with gratitude and purpose, and of course, your favorite breakfast show as well.
Now, the show wouldn't be any other show except Wake Up Nigeria. Just don't get it twisted. Now, that cup of coffee or beverage or whatever you need, just grab it, sit tight. We have a few hours of great stuff for you.
Absolutely, people. Indeed, we raise the bar for ourselves because, I mean, hey, you guys deserve nothing but top of the line. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilaya Oyinson. You can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and Facebook at TVC Connect.
And remember to use the hashtag as you send in your comments across all our social media platforms.
Now, some of the comments we're waiting for are the ones on Tokme's outfit this morning.
I've been really trying hard not to be distracted, but
my people.
I think.
Good morning,
Good morning, Mazino. Don't worry. Just take it easy.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go easy.
Is this gonna happen every Thursday?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Yes.
Okay.
Daily
I love this
dose
job.
of Tokme's entertainment. Good morning, people.
Yeah, you don't want to miss what Tokme has for us. Indeed, what we have throughout the show. If you want to make sure you don't, just have the app. It's available for download at no cost to you for Android or iOS. Make sure you watch us from your mobile devices from anywhere.
And of course, we remind you once again to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv. It's easy.
Yes, so you can join us on Fridays on Instagram Live at 2:30 p.m. Make sure you bring someone special to come watch with you because we'll have a really interesting person available for you to chat with. Absolutely. And Tokme, last time we're on Instagram Live together. Well, I wasn't really there. I actually bombed it, but it was a lot of fun.
You enjoyed it. At the end, Titi have our signature dance. We'll give it you later. I know she doesn't really like it, but I'm gonna put it to
Don't worry, my heels are not that high this morning.
it.
I'll learn. I
Of
promise.
course.
Well, we can always find out later. But I love the whole idea of...
After telling us that from a part of the country. When he gave his own name, I was expecting
That
one
was
very...
an anticlimax, I know.
It's one very long one. Okay, we'll take Parama or something. They did not give us history. You know, be like, okay, so like when you were being born, a leopard.
Just keep going at that
A leopard was giving birth to.
What is it again? See, if I deconstruct it, I can get it.
Okay.
You
But, it's gonna take a while. Okay. It's something to do with
Look at
time.
it. Try this out. Words of wisdom. Don't leave me.
It depends. It's after you give it, I will know whether I will leave you or not.
Okay, so if I and I mute
What?
No, let's go. Let's go.
You know what? I don't want...
I've left you. I've left you.
I don't want to get into that, but
I've
what I
left
do
you.
want to get into is what Okemute is going to be talking about.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever watched, a show where they sort of make over a space. So we're going to be doing our best to help people make over their spaces.
Great.
Virtually, digitally, and people can actually send in requests. If you have a space you want made over,
finally.
dressed, well, hey.
Hello, my helpers. You have located me. Help me.
Just show us the space. Take a video of yourself. Show us the space you would like to change around.
You know, I've got one room upstairs my wife won't touch.
Really?
Jesus Christ.
My God, this
She won't
self-contained.
touch it.
Self-contained. When you just dress it, I can take like 10 pictures. It will look like duplex.
10 different places.
10 different places.
Depth of field.
High five. Extra.
Depth of field. So by the time you are done like this, like,
So you want to dress your own studio. You need your own
See
studio.
how Titi just funkierize it. I say self-contained, Titi says
okay, so but the idea,
Studio apartment.
the idea we said digitally. So we're saying that we're not going to dress. They send in and then we help them do it.
Yeah, well, she's
Okay,
going to.
good.
All right.
So Okemute will help them do it. So what happens is that, would you send a picture of how your place
So a
looks?
video is good.
A video is good.
We've
A
been
video is
receiving
better.
videos already, actually.
Oh, Okay.
Quite a few people have sent in videos because we started this online. And we'll look at the space and see what we can help you with. Yeah, that should be interesting, right?
And then Janetta Dates, we're talking about first impression. You know, Titi was saying work impressions, job. Please use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Tell me the first impressions. You know me, I'm all about relationship. The first impression that you got from that guy and that girl that you're wondering if they're okay. Yes, like I can tell the first impression I got of Mike.
Wow. Okay.
Lera.
Oh no, I want to hear now.
First impressions, yeah, so the thing is, first impressions, I think we're getting to the point where because of social media, because of the evolution, first impressions don't really matter as much as they used to.
True.
Prior to this time, they don't matter as much as they used to.
I'll
because
tell you why.
a lot. Okay, so you know the issue about Kevin Hart. A lot of things that have come up. People when they go, if now people don't even think of first impressions. People think about prior impressions before you even met them.
Yeah,
I don't
very
understand
true.
that. That one even matters more than how they met you now. That's why something that happened 20 years back when they didn't know you, because they can dig it up. 10 years, okay, 20 years is too much.
Internet
It
never
starts becoming an
Have
issue.
a point.
Starts becoming an
but
issue.
then that would sort of be maybe rebuilding your image, sort of, with social media, with things you've put online.
Sorry,
you can
Ma.
rebuild it.
Ma, if you mess up on Twitter, there's no rebuilding from that. You're done.
Well, true. Twitter is a place that is very unforgiving, I have to say. But forgive me, we need to take the news.
Forgiven.
The House of Representatives says it will petition President Muhammadu Buhari over the refusal of some agencies of government to appear before its Committee on Public Account to answer questions bordering on financial irregularities. The House Committee on Public Account has expressed disappointment over the refusal of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, Managing Director of the Nigeria Port Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, and the Bureau for Public Enterprises to appear before it over sales of federal government landed property across the country. The agencies, alongside the National Emergency Management Agency and the Petroleum Equalization Fund, have failed to appear before the Committee on Public Account over the sales of some government property. The Presidential Committee investigating allegations of corruption against the former acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has promised to conduct a fair hearing. Led by Justice Ayo Salami, the committee insists that the proceedings are a fact-finding mission, but not a trial or an inquiry of Mr. Magu or the Anti-Corruption Agency. Justice Salami also denied the request for the video recording of the proceedings to be granted, attributing the reason to temporary venue of the sittings. He also states that the lack of video recording equipment, which can also be seen in superior courts, does not infringe on the conduct of a fair hearing. The Katsina State Governor, Aminu Masari, says the federal government and the state governors are making serious efforts to prevent an escalation of the banditry in the Northwest. He gave this assurance while speaking to the State House correspondents after he met behind closed doors with President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. Masari disclosed that there has been significant progress after the president's directive to the heads of security agencies. He acknowledged that the setting in of the rains would pose some challenges to the fight against bandits, but was optimistic they would soon be overrun.
So far, the situation is under control in Katsina, and I believe in most part of Northwest, but it is not over until it is over. And we have discussed extensively and offered our own suggestions. So I do believe that we can conquer these bandits and stop them from hibernating into something else.
Protesters in the federal capital, Abuja, have alleged that a combined team of armed security men, including the police, is preventing them from staging a peaceful demonstration there. Eyewitnesses told TVC News that there is a partial lockdown on Abuja to prevent a planned protest by the Revolution Now group. A combined team of Army, Police, Air Force and paramilitary personnel were deployed in the early hours of this morning, or rather yesterday, to the streets of Abuja to prevent protesters from converging. The hashtag Revolution Now group, led by Omoyele Sowore, had scheduled a protest for Wednesday against what they had termed as bad governance at the Unity Fountain. The leader of the group had tweeted on his social media handle via Yele Shore that the police, army and air force put Abuja in lockdown to frustrate #RevolutionNow. Police attack Revolution Now members at Unity Fountain in Abuja. Protesters arrested are being brutalized. End quote. Reports reaching us confirmed that security forces fired tear gas at the protesters in Lagos yesterday after they had gathered at Ikeja under bridge. Lagos State Government has reversed the rate of land use charge. Commissioner for Finance, Rabiu Olowo, who revealed this at a press briefing, says the decision was made to reduce the financial pressure on Lagos citizens as it relates to the harsh economy outlook caused by the coronavirus pandemic. He adds that penalties for land use charges for 2017, 2018 and 2019 have also been waived, which translates to the loss of revenue amounting to 5.6 billion naira. Going by the change in the land use charge, the percentage increase in penalties for defaults has also been reduced as follows. Outstanding days of 45 to 75, which was at 25%, will now be 10%, while outstanding days of 75 to 105, which was 50%, will now be 20%, while the outstanding days of 105 to 135, which was 100%, has now been reduced to 50%. The commissioner further said the reform also considered multiple land use charge payment channels and efficient customer service management by setting up a call center in order to ensure prompt issue resolution. At this point, we have to wrap it up on the news updates. 2020, my birthday is coming, yay. We're going to start with the Nation newspaper this morning. It says here, Zulum governors await Buhari's response on attack. Mazari takes banditry case to Villa. 12 fighter jets coming for Air Force. Story starting there on the cover and wrapping up on page 29. It also says here, IP man okays 150 naira per litre. Man backs deregulation. Agbakoba Quakers differ on China loan sovereignty clause. PTF states not enforcing COVID-19 protocols. Pilots issue 2-week strike notice. Union angry over sack. Lagos reviews land use charge rates. And sadly, Beirut blast death toll reaches 135. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right, taking a look at the Punch newspaper this morning for Thursday, August 6th. High debt profile, stop borrowing, tackle mass killings. #Revolution Now tells Buhari. 91 protesters arrested in Abuja, Lagos, Abeokuta, Osogbo. Politicians can loot serial Chinese loans. Movement warns. And there's quite a lot of pictures on there from the protests. I heard you talk about that inside the news earlier. And on the Beirut explosion, I thought I'd die, says Nigerian footballer. Lagos slashes land use charge, waives 5.7 billion naira fees. And Ohaneze, IPOB fighting same cause, different approaches, says Nwodo. Female soldier raped by bandits, sad one there, appeals dismissal. And septuagenarian, guard dies after attack by Lagos driver. At the very top of the Punch newspaper, DHQ silent as U.S. says ISWAP, Al-Qaeda taking over West Africa. And of course, reps summon Amechi Ahmed, DMODG, others over Chinese loans. That will be it for the Punch newspaper.
And on to the Vanguard newspaper now. It says insecurity. Protests in Abuja, Lagos, Ondo, Osogbo. Protesters lament state of nation, want insecurity, unemployment tackled. 100 Revolution Now protesters arrested and released, and the protesters arrested for flouting COVID-19 protocols, according to the FCT. Lagos police, security men locked down Kano against protesters. Protest too small to react to, says presidency source. COVID-19, however, Lagos records 137 new infections as confirmed cases rise to 890. Right at the top right of the paper, it says 2023 will back IPOB to actualize Biafra if. Page 13 has more on that. And I'll wrap with this one. MTN seeks to sell $243 million stake in Jumia Technologies.
Okay.
That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Moving to The Guardian, but let me lead by asking, how's your fuel in your car? Is it
I
funny
need to
thing
check that.
yesterday? Couldn't find any anywhere. But this is the reason here. Uncertainty rules fuel pump price from The Guardian newspaper this morning as PPPRA mum as petrol may sell between 150 naira and 157 naira per litre. NNPC records 2.68 billion naira trading surplus, lower pipeline vandalism. And at the top of the Guardian here, NCC orders operators to charge banks for USSD services. Osinbajo assures Nigerians of access to coronavirus vaccine. And at the bottom, you'd find the details of the cases in Nigeria at the bottom of the page there, the front page. Clark cautions Osinbajo on Niger Delta at the top. And Lagos government reviews 2018 Land Use Act, waives penalties for 2017 to 2018. Once again, pictures from the Revolution Now protests in Lagos yesterday. And that's it for The Guardian.
I have here the Daily Sun with me as quickly as possible. It says, Revolution Now protests rock Abuja, Lagos, Akure, Oshogbo. Police arrest Jalingo, scores, and Shore escapes. It says here, COVID-19, PTF reports governors to Buhari, says not enforcing protocols challenging. And fuel price rise again. Major marketers consider 150 to 151 naira per litre. Labour, JAF, Kakol, kick Nigeria heading for full deregulation, say Moman. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
Nigerian Tribune. Revolution Now, once again making the big headlines here. Security men clamp down on protesters in Abuja, Lagos, Osun, and Ogun State. Arrest Bakari, 5 others in Osun, 40 in Abuja, 25 protesters arrested, arraigned in Lagos court. Falana Serap, CUPP condemn act, or rather attack on protesters. And yeah, I think that's as much as we can cover from the Daily Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune, actually.
And that's all we can take on the headlines and dailies at this point. We're taking them again in the second hour of the show. But for now, let's take a quick break.
It's Lagos traffic. Let's get straight to it. Let's see what we can do to try to make your way probably a little bit easier. I would want to talk to you guys now. Disturbing reports. This is on a journalist status I just saw now. Disturbing reports. It's a source I kind of trust. Is that the robbers are going rampage on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, inward Lagos at this point in time because of the traffic. I don't know if it's inward, but it's on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I know coming here this morning, I saw traffic outward Otedola Bridge. Of course, it was quite long, and then it extends up into Kara. It is said that it's due to a trailer that was parked by the side of the road. I don't know, but reports have it that there is that robberies is going on, and some robbers are going rampage. So I don't know if you're going close to there, stay safe and sure that. I don't know if any of you guys have any report. If you've seen anything on social media, I'm trying to check social media. But this source is quite trustworthy and says that, yes, that robbers are going rampage on that route. I don't know if it's outgoing from Lagos, but it is what was said was Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I know there's traffic now because up from about past 5:30, the whole place was blocked. So I don't know. Have you guys seen anything out there? Have you seen anything?
Yeah, currently on Lagos traffic reports, it shows us at 6:17 a.m. Learned there's a robbery going on at Long Bridge along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Wow.
Retweet until it gets to appropriate authorities.
So this is my. We know that these things happen whenever there's traffic. It should have been sorted out by now.
Yeah.
What do you guys? It should have. We know that it's a hot spot. Kara Bridge, Long Bridge, Kara Market, I don't know if it's a bridge, Long Bridge. It's a hot spot, and especially mornings like this. I mean, I wouldn't want to get, early in the morning like this. I wouldn't want to carry over. So please, be responsible for yourself. Do your best that you can. And if you can avoid the route at this point in time, please do avoid it, right? Okay, so let's take a look at... let's see how it is from Fagba. Let's look at Fagba area. Let me see how traffic. It's Thursday, so normally Thursday mornings you don't get to see traffic so much Thursday mornings, and that is because people lock-up stores have to do sanitation and all of that. You don't get to see lock-up stores get to do sanitation, so they don't go. They don't go. They should go. That's what I think. They should go, but I don't know why they tend to stay back until it's 10 o'clock and then get to head out. But let me just round up with this route. Of course, there's somewhere closed. If you're heading from Fagba, as though you're heading towards Alausa, as I can see now, the only little traffic you might get is around College Bus Stop. That's if you're using College Bus Stop. If you're going to use Iju Road, there's a blockage, so do be careful. It will take you about 30 minutes if you're going via Iju Road, but there is a blockage on Iju Road. At this point, your best option would be College Road. College Road will be your best option, so please use that place, all right? That's all we can take on traffic this morning, of course, in Lagos. I'll go join the guys now for What's Up and About.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, this morning when I was coming from the island, because the route, the third mainland is for people coming to the island. So I had to go through. I started by going through Ijora, and then just when we're coming down at that Ijora bridge that leads to Costain, a trailer packed this way. Just across.
Must have been trying to park and then they just break down right in the middle of the road.
It was frustrating because we now had to go back and connect to somewhere called Ido
Terminus. Yeah.
And I can't remember the name. Oyigbo.
Oyigbo.
It was
That's the
it was
Kata Bridge.
frustrating.
You went through Kata Bridge.
You're discovering new places in Lagos, aren't you?
Such a brighter way to look at it.
But I'll tell you something.
At that time of the day, it's
exactly. It wasn't as exciting.
I know. But small experience from yesterday. If you are coming back to the island, when they say 12 o'clock is when the bridge opens up for you heading back onto the... Just wait till 12:30. Because you get there at 12 o'clock and then it's still closed and you have to wait for like 30 minutes. So
okay.
I want to give it 30
I had to
minutes.
push it to even 1 at times. It gets as much as 1 a.m.
Goodness me.
1 a.m. and all of that. So
Yeah, well, but on a happier, lighter note, our very own Topilolo is doing great things. So honestly, I don't know if I can keep up with your social media anymore. Like, there's just so much happening on your pages. So talk to us about this competition that you're in.
Well, baby girl has been hustling. Yeah, so I entered for the King of Boys Challenge during the lockdown, and there were over 5,000 entries for that one, and we were shortlisted to 15.
Didn't you already win one?
Yes, I did.
So this is another one?
This is another one.
So you're that talented, you're
serial.
Yeah, you're my favorite. You're not my favorite. I'm that talented.
Those two ladies.
3 actually.
That's 3 different
But
ladies.
it's all you, is
All
it?
me, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I played the mafia younger Eniola. I played the older Eniola. That's the present day Eniola. And then I played Adeswa's character, which was the daughter Kemi.
Yeah. I will never forgive you for what you did to me during my audition.
Wow.
She switched up on me.
Oh,
Do you remember?
I forgot.
So you auditioned with her?
Yeah.
Okay,
She pulled a switch.
And I went all emotional on
I'm
it.
like, Jilzot.
You know, the interesting thing is, I really think you're amazing.
You are,
really
actually.
talented. The
Thank
fact
you.
that you could switch between roles like that, that is a skill that not many people can boast of.
Oh,
Trust
thank
me.
you. Thank you.
And so what are the modalities? How do we
How
help
do we
with this?
exactly?
Also, all you just need to do is go to King of Boys movie page on Instagram, check for my video. It's the 5th video there, and you like and you comment. But I actually advise that you watch first, because as much as, yes, I want your like and your comment, I actually want you to have the experience. So your comments can be guided by...
Yeah, so what's the prize? What's
The prize is a role. So you get a role in the film, and yes, you get to influence for the drink brand that is sponsoring the film.
Mike, when is the Agege Bread Challenge starting?
you've lost. Don't even worry. Don't even, before you even get to that one, you've already lost.
Wow.
Don't even worry about that one.
Oh, while we're talking about food, guys,
Yeah.
TT made a revelation this morning. I consider it a hate crime.
Wow.
Based on what I found out on, it was trending about a couple of days ago. It's hashtag egg fried rice.
Okay.
It's, I don't know if you guys know the character,
Okay.
Uncle, what's his name now?
Oh, goodness me. So, you know what? There's this Asian guy
Exactly, him.
that makes a lot of comments on videos,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know what? But before we watch that, before that, we can watch a little bit more of.
How do you cry on demand? Please, what app do you use?
Oh, Lower Neil. Oh, that was beautiful. No, I have to do this.
Oh, thank
I
you.
felt that. I actually felt like pulled into that scene. It was a short one, but I felt pulled into it. That's so sweet.
Thank
okay.
you.
So for those who haven't actually watched the movie, they probably won't be able to relate to what you're doing in the scene. But I've watched it, so I'm just like, oh boy, trial.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
Fantastic
much.
one.
Yeah. So please don't come and cry on set. But don't bring.
No,
any
don't
of
worry.
those-
No, this is the real me.
Okay.
Those are characters.
You should do a one-man movie all the way for 1 hour long.
Wow, if you
One-man
sponsor
show.
it, big man.
But we know people at home are gonna go straight to that page. That's the King
Yes,
of Boys movie
King of
page.
Boys movie
They're
page.
they're gonna watch the page and they're gonna like it. And
Yes.
there's no way you're not going to win now. We're going
Amen.
to be celebrating very, very soon.
Amen.
Just bring the money small.
Wow,
Share the
Titi.
money.
Wow.
We have to take a
I'll
cut.
buy you coffee.
I don't mind. Anything.
Wow.
Alrighty then, we're
Yes, indeed.
back.
Now, Thursday is that day before our absolute favorite day. Of course, you know which one.
Yeah.
When we can all have a TGIF. I don't know if it's
What?
good to go now for a TGIF, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll know
You
very
can
soon.
always thank God it's Friday, no matter what you're doing on that day. But
Yeah.
before then, you know we got you. We got
Absolutely.
you back. Our sole purpose every morning is making sure your day starts the right way.
Yes, indeed. So, it's the job we do, and we're loving every single minute of it. We hope you're doing the same too. Thank you for joining us every morning. We're here because of you. There wouldn't be any us if not for you.
Yeah,
So,
very true. Very true.
do keep it tuned every single morning.
As we also like to come with some inspiration this morning, let us just say that if you want the rainbow, you'll have to put up with a little rain. Yeah. So
that.
sometimes it's a little gloomy, but hey, there's always sunshine on the horizon.
My daughter's called Rain.
Your daughter's name is Rain?
Yes.
Oh, that is so cute. Shower, so pleasant.
That just means that as long as you have a destination in mind, hazards of the journey, well, they shouldn't discourage you. And if anybody should tell you that, it should be me. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Now, as always, we can be with you as long as you need to move around. All you have to do is stream on the website. That's tvcentertainment.tv, and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yes, the TVC app remains available for download, and it's free of charge, by the way, both on Android and Apple iOS. It allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world that you might be.
Yeah, and for more exciting videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's TVC Entertainment.
Also, please endeavor to join us on IG Live every Friday at 2:30 p.m. for that something extra.
And of course, as always, the kitchen is set. Now, Tokba is going to be in the kitchen, and she's going to be there with an amazing chef,
Yes,
Chef Tito, I believe.
Yes, Chef Tito is on her way.
And the reason I'm talking about it is because, you know, whenever you see, so let's think about bankers. You know, you think of marketers and salespeople, and they always dress a certain way. You know, they're always supposed to, when you meet the person, you sort of already know
Yeah.
that
As a marketer,
they're
you want to sell
marketer.
me something.
You want to sell me something. So do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing, though? Because I feel like people are tired of being sold stuff, tired of being marketed to. I don't know. If someone says they have something to sell, oh, you people have come again. I don't know. I have that feeling. I don't know. Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing?
Well, it's time to reinvent how you approach people, I guess. People don't want to spend that much anymore, so we have to reinvent that wheel. I think it's time to stop being the conventional guy in a tie trying to sell something. Or the direction that you're coming from when you're trying to sell these things perhaps has to change. I'm not a sales expert, but that's for me personally.
That's what I was saying.
You know,
When he comes, we'll probably get an insight into that, because sales is something that, man, is not my strongest suit, and it's not anywhere near. Like, if I was told to sell something,
But you're selling things every day,
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
Mike.
you actually are. You actually
Yeah.
are. But like you said, the conventional way, that way, you have to find a way. That's why when you have subliminal messages from advertising and all of that,
Yeah.
the best adverts are the ones that, you don't just
not
bring it in your
intrusive.
face. You don't just put it in person's face. You go on there. And by the time you are done, you'll be... They'll just be bringing that money. So I think, so what I pick from what you say is that the conventional way, the way we know, the Thai and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to...
He said Coca-Cola.
I have...
Yeah, knocking, as in like knocking on the door,
I have this thing
salesman.
and all of that, all of that. So maybe...
Oh no! So like I remember being younger. I used to do a lot of ushering jobs and a lot of jobs for companies. So I used to stand outside Mega Plaza from around 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. and I was selling property.
Wow.
No, I was selling property. I think Mayfair Gardens or something like that. And they gave us a uniform and said we should stand there and just start selling houses.
So you also...
And no, of course
How
not.
they
I
give
think
you
I
house
was getting,
now?
I think I was
What's-
getting
Is it-
like
is it in
was it
sachet?
7.5 or 10K a day or something like that.
For 10 hours.
Yeah, so it was difficult, but the relationships that I was able to build by standing right there at the door of that place. So in the end, I never really sold many. I could probably one or two, but in the end, the relationships, I ended up selling other things because of relationships I built.
Oh, I'd like to hear that story.
And then, well, you know what? At this point, I think we should hand it over to Ibrahim. He has a few things to tell about the news.
I'm actually not selling. I'll be stating the fact. The House of Representatives says it will petition President Muhammadu Buhari over the refusal of some agencies of government to appear before its Committee on Public Accounts to answer questions bordering on financial irregularities. The House Committee on Public Accounts expressed disappointment over the refusal of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, Managing Director of the Nigeria Port Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, and the Bureau for Public Enterprises to appear before it over sales of federal government landed property across the country. The agencies, alongside the National Emergency Management Agency and the Petroleum Equalization Fund, have failed to appear before the Committee on Public Accounts over the sales of some government property. The Presidential Committee investigating allegations of corruption against the former acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has promised to conduct a fair hearing. Led by Justice Ayo Salami, the committee insists that the proceedings are a fact-finding mission but not a trial or an inquiry of Mr. Magu or the Anti-Corruption Agency. Justice Salami also denied the request for the video recording of proceedings to be granted, attributing the reason to the temporary venue of the sittings. He also states that the lack of video recording equipment, which can also be seen in superior courts, does not infringe on the conduct of a fair hearing. And the Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari says the federal government and state governors are making serious efforts to prevent an escalation of banditry in the northwest. He gave this assurance while speaking to State House correspondents after he met behind closed doors with President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. Masari disclosed that there has been significant progress after the President's directive to the heads of security agencies. He acknowledged that the setting in of the rains would pose some challenges to the fight against bandits, but was optimistic they would soon be overrun. Protesters in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have alleged that a combined team of armed security men, including the police, is preventing them from staging a peaceful demonstration there. Eyewitnesses told TVC News that there is a partial lockdown in Abuja to prevent a planned protest by the Revolution Now group. A combined team of Army, Police, Air Force and paramilitary personnel were deployed in the early hours to the streets of Abuja to prevent protesters from converging. The hashtag Revolution Now group, led by Omoyele Sowore, had scheduled a protest for Wednesday against what they termed as bad governance at the Unity Fountain. The leader of the group had tweeted on his social media handle via Yele Sowore that the police, army and air force put Abuja in lockdown to frustrate Revolution Now. Police attack Revolution Now members at Unity Fountain in Abuja. Protesters are arrested and are being brutalized. End of quote. Reports reaching us also confirmed that security forces fired tear gas at protesters in Lagos after they had gathered at Ikeja on the bridge. And Lagos State government has reversed the rate of land use charge. Commissioner for Finance Rabiu Olowo, who reviewed this at a press briefing, says the decision was made to reduce the financial pressure on Lagos citizens as it relates to the harsh economy, the economic outlook caused by the coronavirus pandemic. He also adds that penalties for land use charges for 2017, 2018 and 2019 have also been waived, which translates to a loss of revenue amounting to 5.6 billion naira. Going by the change in the land use charge, the percentage increase in penalties for defaults has also been reduced as follows. Outstanding days of 45 to 75, which was 25%, will now be 10%, while outstanding days of 75 to 105%, which was 50%, will now be 20%, while the outstanding days of 105 to 135, which was 100%, has now been reduced to 50%. The commissioner further said that the reform also considered multiple land use charge payments channels and efficient customer service management by setting up a call center in order to ensure prompt issue resolution.
Up next, it says here, high debt profile, stop borrowing, tackle mass killings, hashtag Revolution Now tells Buhari. 91 protesters arrested in Abuja, Lagos, Abeokuta, Oshogbo. Politicians can loot serial Chinese loans, movement warns. DHQ silent as U.S. says ISWAP, Al-Qaeda taking over West Africa. Marginalization, Yakazai backs return to parliamentary system. It also says here, reps summon Amechi Ahmed, DMO, DG, others over Chinese loans. Nigerians spent 2.37 trillion naira on petrol in 13 months, according to the NMPC. On the Beirut explosion, it says here, I thought I'd die, says Nigerian footballer. Lagos slashes land use charge, waives 5.7 billion naira fees. Ohaneze, IPOB fighting same cause, different approaches, according to Nwodo. I'm going to wrap up with this one, a sad one here. It says, female soldier raped by bandits, appeals dismissal.
Sad. Moving on now to the Vanguard newspaper for a Thursday. First off, the Vanguard captures the protests, the Revolution Now protests from yesterday from different states in its front page, from Abuja, Oshogbo, and in Lagos, Ondo as well. Its major headline here, insecurity protests in Abuja, Lagos, Ondo, Oshogbo. Protesters lament state of nation, want insecurity, unemployment tackled. 100 Revolution Now protesters arrested and released. Protesters arrested for flouting COVID-19 protocols, FCT Lagos police say, and security men locked down Kano against protesters. Protests too small to react to presidency source say. And COVID-19, Lagos records 137 new infections as confirmed cases rise to 44,890. That's
4,000.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's gotten so high in such short times is still quite alarming. We have to take this show to fitness now. That's how we wrap it up on the papers.
All right. Okay, so thank you for staying with us. And of course, today we're talking tech. And while we're still trying to sort out some few technical issues and all of that, last time we spoke about tech jobs and, you know, how much they pay. Now, there was something, it was a bit, a number of people would say, I always talk about teaching kids when they start up how to, you know, program and code and all of that. And a number of people found it, that reached out to me, found it a little bit, you know, kind of depressing that, hey, what if I don't have tech knowledge? How do I get to do all these jobs? Yes, they are highly skilled jobs, you know, when you have to code and all that. But you see, hey, come on, the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time to start is now. So as soon as you can, or whatever that you can can do, just start almost immediately. Whatever you can do, it's a world that, of course, is controlled by technology. So in whatever way that you can, do as much as you can to be tech savvy and, pick up from wherever you can. So that's really about it. Do the best that you can. We spoke about people who, it's security, in people that are involved in internet security. Of course, at this time around, I've also had somebody who's involved in cyber hacking, ethical hacking, as some people could talk about it. Now, to fight against a hacker, you definitely have to know how to hack. So that's something, internet security, that's a very, very high-paying digital job. And it's something that you can do in correspondence, right? High-paying job. That should be security. Security is very important. Security offline and security online. As much as we've seen how security has affected the world, that's the same way it is online when it comes to securing your apps, when it comes to securing your browsers, when it comes to securing your gadgets and all of that. It's also something that's quite very, very important. So generally, when you're talking about an organization, say like an organization like ours, and you're using a security mechanism that can, interconnect, interconnected security, that's really quite a high-paying job, And, talking about that, I don't know, how much of, Mazino, have you ever had any time or have you ever been worried about security when it comes to any of your devices, and how, if you have you ever, how did you sort it out?
Device to the other device, just because I'm not sure of how secure one is or the other. But this is not something that worries me too much anyway, because these days you have so many apps that can actually make it much more secure than how they come in the box, if you get me. But we're talking about companies and how they have this challenge, and the individuals that are sought after to try and make perhaps maybe make this challenge even better. Now, one thing I know about tech and the fact that people who have this ability are becoming more sought after every single day is this. One thing is you can work remotely from wherever you are. So it's a great way to make money, not leave the house, not be concerned about how much fuel you're going to be buying or how much fuel is going to go up in the next couple of days.
Very true.
And it's not just about security. It goes from security to anything that has to do with perhaps maybe using a device or using an app or even designing these apps. The whole pandemic has shown us one thing, that going to an office is really not what it is. It's really not worth it these days. People have been able to make things move or push businesses just because, hey, they have simple ability to work from their homes with devices that have been made available to them. So if this is your ability, congratulations, though. For the next 5 years, I think you're going to be booming, making plenty of money.
Yeah.
I think we have another segment we're moving on to now, don't we, Mike?
Definitely. We'll get back to talk about security and technology much later, but we're kicking on with Etiquette. Of course, today on Etiquette, we are with Janet Aditu. And hello, Janet.
Hi there, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good
Good morning, Janet.
I'm doing well. Good morning. How are you?
Yes.
How's everything?
Okay, so
Good.
I'll take you, Janet, I'll take you to task today because the topic you came up with this morning is quite a very interesting one. First impressions and how to make a good one every time. First of all, how important are first impressions?
Oh my goodness, so important. Well, first of all, the thing is, first impressions go a long way. Absolutely. And you only get one chance to make a good first impression, because first impressions, they actually last a lifetime. And sometimes to get rid of that bad first impression may take that lifetime. So first impressions are very important because it speaks to your confidence level, it speaks to your credibility, it speaks to your charisma. And it's really important because today, with presence, you can outshine your competition, you can go far, you can make or break a deal. So first impressions it's all about your appearance, it's all about your actions, it's all about your attitude. And for me, that is what is very key. Yes, it takes 30 seconds for somebody to judge you, all right? And for me, the moment you step into a room and there's a crowd of people look at you, you'd be surprised that unconsciously somebody's making an impression of you. So whether you are likable, whether you are approachable, people are looking at you to make judgment. Does this person fit my bill? Is this the kind of person I would like to talk to? And so for me, when it comes to first impressions, it's really based on what you see, what you hear, what you sense around that
What
person.
we. Okay. All right. Now
So if I were to go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, now there's something, while you made mention about somebody, there's quite a popular adage that says you never get a second chance to make a first impression, right? Now, let's say perhaps you botched that chance to make that good first impression. What can be done?
Well, most times you wouldn't even know that you've done something and you've stepped on someone's toes. So the thing is, because you don't want to take chances at all, you want to come out being positive all the time. Every time you see somebody, you want to be positive. Sometimes it could be just by a mere word or action or statement that you made that somebody now judges you and keeps you at a bar at a distance. You might not even know. And sometimes it may be that you are the first person that that person meets, and maybe several years down the line, the person says, do you know that you said this to me several years ago? And based on that, I've always liked you. You've created an impression, you know? And like I said before, there is triple A when it comes to first impressions: your appearance, your actions, and your attitude. And so you may ask, what does that all mean? When it comes to appearance, whoever you are, it's really about making sure that you dress appropriately. So where are you going? Who are you meeting? And what are you going to do where you're going to? So that means when it comes, you must dress the part. So appearance is key. Dress the part. Don't dress lackadaisically. And I'm even talking about virtually as well. Even though we're not seeing ourselves physically as much as we used to before because of social distancing, when you're meeting somebody online, dress the part. Don't dress because I'm online, I'm at home, I'm working from home. Doesn't really matter. It matters because every meeting you have with somebody, physical or virtual, is important. So I say, even when I say the 3 A's, I will spell out the 3 V's. Your verbal, your visual, and your virtual image counts when it comes to first impressions. I'll repeat that again. Your verbal, your visual, and your virtual image counts when it comes to first impressions. So you have to dress the way you really want to be addressed. Appropriate clothing, right place, right time, and right gathering. And that means when you're dressing up, remember 3 things. You want to look likable, you want to look credible, and you want to look approachable. That means wear clothes that fit you. Don't wear clothes that are baggy or too tight, okay? Figure out the color, coordinate your color. Don't wear off colors and just say, I'm putting this on. Make sure that you look like an ensemble. You've made an effort to look the part, okay? Follow trends, yes. I'm not saying go and spend millions of dollars on something that is expensive. Follow trends in the sense that if this is what they're wearing today, like this kind of suit for men, you know, men don't wear waistcoats inside their jackets anymore. That's out of date. So you follow the trend as much as it applies to either your profession, either your career line. Because I understand not everybody wears a shirt and tie. That makes sense. But in line with your own career, follow the trends and make sure you're coordinated. When it comes to your actions, please don't forget. Anywhere you go, please smile, please greet, please shake hands if you have to. And when you're speaking, whether it's on the phone, whether it's physical, let's hear your voice properly. We don't want to say, come again, excuse me, I didn't hear you. We want to hear what you're saying. So even when you're in a meeting and you want to make a good first impression, be loud and clear. Know what you're going to say. Don't say gibbetry. Know what you're going to say. Know your onions and go out there and speak volumes, you know, because this is where we're networking. We're networking online. We're networking physically as well. And it's very important that when you're speaking.
Wonderful,
when
Janet.
You're speaking,
Wonderful,
so
Janet.
So attitude last of all. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, you said 3 A's. We dealt with 1A. Due to time, Janet will pick up from here. I remember the last thing you said. I wanted to take, like I said, I'll take you on this one. This is quite a very interesting discussion, but we have to go on a break now. We'll pick up next time from the second. We have 2 more A's to go, right? We do. Thank you very much, Janet. It was great talking to you.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much. Very nice.
All right, we'll just take this short break now and we'll get back. We'll be talking tech. Opportunities are available online. We've got Bella Rose back now, on-air personality and, of course, tech enthusiast. And we're talking about tech jobs to consider now and how much they pay. Yo, Bella, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, Mike. Good morning.
Are you done with those brows? Are you done with those brows?
Wow. Wow, Mike, you put me on blast like that.
No, see, you're a different type. So chilled. We can still continue making sure that they are perfect, but the brows are perfect. I like them. How you doing?
you. I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing really
Okay,
good.
so
Happy
we spoke
August,
about.
I guess.
Okay, now we spoke about security. I know that the last time we spoke about one job available when it comes to tech, and we spoke about security, and that it's a high skill job. Yeah. So a number of people were kind of depressed. We're like, look, I don't have any tech background. How can I get such a job? How long will it take me to, build up my tech repertoire to get to the point whereby I can actually engage in such a job? I know it's quite hard. What do you have to say to such people who feel like they are nowhere, and how do they start to get to such jobs as this?
So the first and most important thing that we need to understand is every single day of our lives we use technology, whether we have skills or not. Everybody knows how to use social media. You have an Instagram page, you have an email address, you know how to get on these platforms. And so many of these companies who are maybe hiring are looking for people who at least, are able to put two and two together and say, okay, if I use this as my username, it will appear like this when I open the page. So it's as basic as that for starters. Now, in the event that you also want to apply for some of the jobs that require more skills, you're going to have to go through certain trainings, right?
Okay.
And so some of these trainings are available to people who are just curious, so it's not like, oh, you have to be somebody who has been in tech for the longest time. Sometimes in about 3 months or less, if you spend the amount, if you spend the amount of time that you use, maybe just scrolling through Instagram, for instance, understanding how some of these codes work, you'll be surprised how much you are going to benefit from it. I know people who have I'm talking from arts industries, people who have gone from fashion designing, entrepreneurs who have gone from just selling stuff, who are now people who have done stuff in agriculture, choosing to leave, some of these places to learn how to code. And so it's not as if, oh, you have got to be an A-class student or someone who's been a techie from 5 years old. It's not necessary. As long as you are able to reason as an adult or as just a human being, and you are able to just understand certain things, you would definitely be able to do these things. I mean, nobody teaches you how to download an app now. No one teaches you how to open a Facebook account,
It
for instance,
depends.
or how to respond
If
to
you're an
friends on
African
Facebook.
parent, they might teach you.
Whoa, Mike, you put African parents on blast. I'm not there.
But I get you.
But
Now, okay, so we spoke
advanced.
about security. What other kind of jobs are available? Can people also delve into apart from security? Are there any other branches still in tech that people can delve into?
Definitely, definitely. Now, as you know, the world is moving to a heavily artificial intelligent world where we have some machines doing stuff for us, or sometimes some of these machines are predicting our behavior. So sometimes when you want to search something on the internet, for instance, before you finish typing it, you sometimes see that it has suggested that for you. Or maybe you want to go use, for instance, an ATM machine, or anything else like that. So there's a high demand for artificial intelligence and machine learning engineers. This is a bit high end in a way, but that's
Bella is the
anyone who's looking in
highest.
that.
Bella is the highest. Bella, even me, when I hear AI, my chest used to do somehow. I'm serious, Bella. When I hear artificial intelligence, my chest does somehow because see, that's the high. That's where that is it. That's where it picks up. But hey, let's talk about AI. What are the options available? How can someone pick up AI from, say,
So I mean,
just
artificial
in?
learning. AI is in high demand in the tech industry, and it is, again, in a way, it's an emerging field. In other parts of the world, for instance, they are really progressing in that area, and that's where people who are going to learn how to do these things from this part of the world, for instance, can have an edge, because even in other parts of the world, they don't exactly have it figured out just yet. So if you can get online and maybe take some courses on AI, it will require some learning. Like I said before, it's not like it will just fall on your laps. It requires some learning. So when you're able to figure that out, you can now apply for some of these jobs. They do stuff. So when you hear about innovations like the Tesla, for instance, when you hear about innovations like, in fact, smartphones now being able to recognize your face and all of these things, and even how some of these things are used, it's the job of artificial intelligence engineers and machine learning engineers as well to help out with how they can let technology predict our behavior better. And so some of these jobs are helping you earn as much as over 100,000, almost $150,000, on average, per year. And I think that's very, very exciting. Now, in case that is a bit too high end for some people, you find, like you have mentioned, African parents sometimes don't necessarily understand technology like we youngins understand it. So there are people who actually do research, right, for companies that are looking to still serve people like that who are maybe old, or people who live in areas where internet is not exactly penetrating deep enough. And so they're able to still provide solutions for these people at their level of understanding. And that's where stuff like, research scientists will come in, so you can maybe go on field, talk to these people, understand their needs, etc., and then collect all that data that you have gotten, all that information, and then provide it to some company that's in need of it. Because truth is, not everybody, at the end of the day, not everyone will be a smartphone user. We still have people using feature phones in this country. We have parts of Nigeria where there is no internet, and there are companies who are looking to get into those areas to serve them. They call these places underserved areas. And so if you're able to do some kinds of research about such areas, you can provide that information to companies, and you're making about $100,000 thereabouts per year in those areas. It's interesting to note that a lot of the companies that will need your skills may not be in Nigeria, and that's what makes it even more exciting. Remote working is the new normal for many people as a result of the pandemic, and so you can sit down in your house in Ogba, in your house in Agege or in Oshodi, and be doing work for a company that is in Massachusetts or that is in Texas or Houston or anywhere else for that matter. And that's the exciting thing about this. And you are helping them, provide solutions for even parts of the world where you are based. So they have the wherewithal, they have the resources, they have the equipment, and so they can sometimes either ship some of these things or ship some people or use your information to create these solutions for people back home.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bella Rose. I will just very, very fast. Let's just do this in a few seconds. It would be remiss of me not to ask or not to talk about the fact that it can be challenging. We've had a lot of limitations or restrictions when it comes to accessing jobs outside this country from Nigeria because of Is there, I don't know, do you have anything to say about that when it comes to the kind of limitations and restrictions we have as Nigerians working out of Nigeria when we're doing remote jobs? I know you're not the government, so I don't expect you to have the answer to that, but what can you say about that? That is quite a challenge.
There are a number of fellowships that software developers belong to. Now, these places are called fellowships because they are places where developers who don't feel like they have enough skills or enough experience can learn. So it's like an ecosystem where they can just stay and learn some of these things. And then companies from anywhere in the world who these fellowships have provided recruits for, will reach out to them and tell them, okay, so guys, we need an artificial intelligence person, for instance, and they can look within and say, oh, we have somebody who is almost 100% good at this artificial intelligence thing, and we can recommend them to you. So I think what you need to do is search for these fellowships and see what it requires or it entails to join them. For many of them, it is literally free because it's an ecosystem that they are building where we can have talent in Nigeria that are just great at coding and at developing. So look out for these fellowships. They are quite a number in Nigeria. I cannot say their names
okay,
right
all right. Bella Rose, thank you. Thank you so much. If we continue now, the fellowship will enter preaching from there. But it's always great talking to you. It's always great talking to you. Have a wonderful day.
Same here. Thank you so much, Mike.
All right. Okay, that's it. That's all we can take for the second lap of the show. The third.
Well, you know what they say, the third time's the charm.
Yes, and just like that, hey, we're into the third hour.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit that it's been quite a morning so far, hasn't it?
Eventful.
Yeah.
And if you just tuned in, not to worry, it's not all over yet. We have another 45 minutes for you still coming your way. Make some plans to stick around to the very end.
Yes, indeed, so much still ahead to look forward to. We bring you as much as we can, during these hours.
Yeah.
And we've still got quite a lot to go.
Yeah. So Tokpa has been hanging out in the kitchen. She's been really inspiring us with her moves. She's been showing us some steps behind the scenes.
Yeah, and guess what, guys? Titi is going to be dropping an amazing dance routine for you on Instagram.
Hey!
Right after this. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to check that out.
I didn't know about this.
Right back at you, Titi.
Well,
You
guys.
know what? I used to teach dance.
Oh, really?
I was paid to learn dance. Yes.
Been a sales girl, teach dance. What haven't you done?
I don't think there's any job I've not
right.
done yet. Well, I've not been a pilot yet. Maybe
Then
that's
there
my
is
next
that.
job.
Well, let's make good use of the time that we have left, okay? My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Oni. So make sure you try and stick around. Even if you have to move around, you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yes, indeed. The TVC app is always available for download at both Android and iOS stores. It allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere you might be in the world.
For some exciting videos, trust me, it is worth going back to catch up, basically, on YouTube. That's TVC Entertainment on YouTube. Just make sure you subscribe.
And please don't forget, we also recommend that you join us live on IG on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. for something extra.
Now, if you ever wanted to be a sales executive, or you just need to improve your sales skills, you need to stay tuned, because very, very soon, we're going to be joined by the Director of Commercial TVC Communications. He's going to be giving out some helpful tips on how to help you along.
And on a home makeover, we will be dressing a nest. And on request, by the way, we'll be turning someone's home around from what it is to what it can be. That's it's Blessing Akuche. Yes, she's joining us.
From Blessy Art.
Blessy Art, exactly.
She's going to be working with us on that one. Yeah.
So there's this Nigerian series that there's been quite a buzz about it, Men's Club.
Oh, yeah.
I've not seen it. Why do you smile? Men's Club, see, I see where you just smile.
Wow.
What is it about?
Like no balance.
I've not seen it, so
I've been on their sister show, Assistant Madams, but I can tell you for free that Men's Club is an amazing show. It touches on Lagos boys, you know, the way they live their lives, different, the mics.
Probably
the
that's why
Mazinos.
a lot of ladies. That's why a lot of ladies like it, because I feel like when Men's Club comes out, we'll probably like it.
That's why we had Assistant
I'm serious.
Madams.
Like over 5 ladies are called Men's Club, Men's Club. I've not seen a guy that's Men's Club. I've seen a Men's Club.
That's like
No, so
releasing all the
this
details.
is what attracted me to the show, yeah? So there's this guy that's been trying to get this girl to date him, and then she refuses to give him any attention. She's very low life, and then she can't pay her rent. Then the landlord comes and kicks her out, and then he comes to the house and he's like, oh, how much is the rent? And he's like, no, he wants to sell the house. And then he's like, how much do you want to sell the house? He says 22 million. And the guy brings out his phone and transfers 18 million and says, come to my office with the documents, I'll pay the balance. I say, God, when? God, when? Okay. I need an 18 million deposit.
So wait.
You know that, but you know that you can't just stand up and transfer 80 million.
Whatever.
Now, you know.
Uncle in the film did it. Uncle did it.
Well, my question is, how much of that is real? How much of that actually happens every single day? Is it possible?
In the film. They are there too.
Wait, what am I? What am I?
Don't believe that they can spend that money. They're inside the film too.
But the thing is, if I was the girl, I'll be worried. Like,
Titi, I've come.
Where did you get that money from?
Dear brother out there, spend the money. I'ma take it.
But you see, when your helper is on the way, if it's 80 million, we buy the house.
All I'll think about is if he can do this for me. While he's dating me, he can do it for another girl.
Aha, there you go.
Understand? It's true now. I'll be thinking, so how many girls have you bought house
This is
for?
angles, eh?
How many girls have you bought
This
house
is just buy for me first. Worry about the rest later. That's it. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. When they'll come one day and say, sorry, we're looking for the owner of this house.
Exactly.
It's my house. No, madam. It was bought on that fraudulent.
I know where he went to. But yeah,
I didn't say anything. Oh,
Ibrahim, what if someone just comes up and says, they want to get a house for you, Ibrahim? Would you take the offer? Would you get the house or?
Is it a man or a woman? Ibrahim, think. Who is buying house for you?
Oh yeah, my lawyer will answer that on my behalf. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 457 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 44,890. Of the new cases, Lagos recorded the highest figure with 137 new cases, followed by the FCT with 76 new cases. Other states with high numbers include Plateau with 40 cases, Rivers 35, Enugu 34. So far, 32,165 people have been discharged, while 927 people have died from COVID-19 related complications. And the House of Representatives says it will petition President Muhammadu Buhari over the refusal of some agencies of government to appear before its Committee on Public Accounts to answer questions bordering on financial irregularities. The House Committee on Public Accounts expressed disappointment over the refusal of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Managing Director of the Nigeria Port Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, and the Bureau for Public Enterprises to appear before it over sales of federal government land and property across the country. The agencies, alongside the National Emergency Management Agency and the Petroleum Equalization Fund, have failed to appear before the Committee on Public Accounts over the sales of some government property. The Katsina State Governor, Aminu Bello Masari, says the federal government and state governors are making serious efforts to prevent an escalation of banditry in the northwest. He gave this assurance while speaking to State House correspondents after he met behind closed doors with President Muhammad Buhari. Mr. Masari disclosed that there has been significant progress after the president's directive to the heads of security agencies. He acknowledged that the setting in of the rains would pose some challenges to the fight against bandits, but was optimistic they would soon be overrun. And protesters in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have alleged that a combined team of armed security men, including the police, is preventing them from staging a peaceful demonstration there. Eyewitnesses told TVC News that there is a partial lockdown in Abuja to prevent a planned protest by the Revolution Now group. A combined team of Army, Police, Air Force and paramilitary personnel were deployed in the early hours to the streets of Abuja to prevent protesters from converging. The hashtag Revolution Now group, led by Omoyele Sowore, had scheduled a protest for Wednesday against what they termed as bad governance at the Unity Fountain. The leader of the group had tweeted on his social media handle that the police, army and air force put Abuja in lockdown to frustrate Revolution Now. He says, quote, police attack Revolution Now members at Unity Fountain in Abuja, protesters arrested and are being brutalized, end of quote. Reports reaching us also confirmed that the security forces fired tear gas at protesters in Lagos after they had gathered at Ikeja on the bridge. And Lagos State government has reversed the rate of land use charge. Commissioner for Finance Rabiu Olowo, who revealed this at a press briefing, says the decision was made to reduce the financial pressure on Lagos citizens as it relates to the harsh economy outlook caused by the coronavirus pandemic. He adds that penalties for land use charges for 2017, 2018 and 2019 have also been waived, which translates to a loss of revenue amounting to 5.6 billion naira. Going by the change in the land use charge, the percentage increase in penalties for defaults have also been reduced as follows. Outstanding days of 45 to 75, which was 25%, will not be 10%, while outstanding days of 75 to 105, which was 50%, will be 20%. Outstanding days of 105 to 135 days, which was 100%, has now been reduced to 50%. The commissioner further said the reform also considered multiple land use charge payments, the payment channels and efficient customer service management by setting up a call center in order to ensure prompt issue resolution. Outside Nigeria, Lebanon's cabinet has declared a 2-week state of emergency in the capital city and handed control of security in the capital to the military following a massive explosion in Beirut that killed at least 135 people and injured 5,000 others. The explosion on Tuesday sent shock waves across the city, causing widespread damage as far as the outskirts of Beirut. Officials say they expect the death toll to rise further as emergency workers dig through the rubble to search for survivors. Beirut City Governor Marwan Aboud said up to 300,000 people have lost their homes and authorities are working on providing them with food, water and shelter. And that does it on the news updates today on Wake Up Nigeria. Next is sports.
Mr. Ronan Redmond. Now he has over a decade's experience in sales and he's about to bring about that expertise. He's going to bring it to you for free. You're going to be learning as we discuss sales and the skills skill sets that all sales executives must possess. Welcome to the show, Ronan.
Thank you very much for having me.
So this conversation has been going on for quite a while. We've been
Yep.
talking about it, you
Yep.
coming on air, talking about sales.
Yeah.
Why did you think it was so important to share this knowledge?
Well, I think, look, we live in extraordinary times. The last 6 months have been quite extraordinary, more recently, last 4 months with COVID. And all that's happening is all over the world, nobody really understands what's going on. So we're going through the health part of it, and we're now coming into the economic and business part, and the trauma and that has just been impacted upon us all by this. So all we read about are job losses, companies closing down, business closing down, and there's a real air of gloom and doom out there. And that got me to thinking is that we're a large organization in TVC. We rely on sales, we rely on selling advertising, we rely on revenue. So we always need people to sell on our behalf. And if that's particular to us, it's also particular to lots of other businesses. So really the purpose of this whole segment is to say, look, there's no need to despair. Sales is a great job.
Okay.
Although companies are in difficulty and struggling, they will always need salespeople, whether that's a car company or a property company or a media company like ourselves. There's always a need for good salespeople.
Okay, so I like the way you put it, always a need. Now, a lot of people see these job updates online asking for salespeople, but then they don't go in that direction. Is that because of some myths around being a salesperson, do you think?
Yeah, I think there really is. I think the difficulty is a lot of us, well, you said I am a decade in sales. I'm actually about 3 or 4 decades in sales. So thank you very much for saying 1 decade.
You look a lot younger.
Thank you. I'm in sales a long time. It's given me a great career. I've traveled internationally. I come from Dublin City in Ireland. I've worked in London. I've worked in the Czech Republic. And now I find myself in Lagos. That's all because of sales and selling.
Okay.
I went to university. I never thought I was going to be a salesman. I just liked a particular company. I ended up joining that company and I got into sales. But an awful lot of people are put off. Sales is not easy, but it requires persistence, and it really requires, first and foremost, an ability to get on with people. And I believe we all have that ability. We all get on with our friends and with our family. And if we can just translate some of those skills out into the wider business community and realize that first and foremost, it's about getting on with people, that's the whole start.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about those skills.
Yeah.
What are the most important skills that a salesperson should possess? Someone is watching right now and they're thinking, I'm not enough.
Yeah.
What can you tell them to convince them that they are?
Well, they are, first and foremost, because what we're talking about is sales in a business context, but we all sell every single day. We all hustle every day. We all go into a shop to buy goods, whether it's groceries, clothing, and we all hustle in terms of the price we pay for something. So we invariably are all salespeople. As I said to you, first and foremost is about making a connection. So it's communication is the most important skill, and we can all communicate. But what has to happen is we have to pay more attention to that communication. So I often say, and I've mentioned it to you before, that TV and radio presenters are the great communicators, you know, and by that is you articulate your message quite strongly, quite clearly, and your focus is making sure that the person who's watching or listening to you, that person understands what you're saying. And that's the first and most important skill in selling, is just to be able to communicate.
All right. So communication comes first.
Yeah.
What else do I have? Do I have to look a certain way? Do I have to be tall, short?
It depends what you're selling.
Yeah.
If you're selling high-heeled boots, you might have to be a bit taller or whatever. But no, communication is very important. But with communication and articulation comes listening. So listening is as important a part of communication, because we listen to what the person wants, and that determines then the offer we shape or the product we sell to them. But in terms of, do I have to be male, female? Absolutely not. We all, whether we are male or female, we all possess those skills that will help us to sell.
Okay, then what about that myth? So for instance, the bank salespeople, they're a certain gender, you know, a certain height, certain color sometimes. And it's said that some companies believe they will sell better. What do you think those companies are driving at?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but if I can take it back to the sales process, and the sales process is a very, very simple process. You know, selling is really my trying to convince you to buy whatever product I am selling. So the first thing I'll do is I'll engage you. I'll find you, and then I'll realize that you have a need, and then I will display my product to you, and I'll show you all the benefits that that product has for you, and then you will come back to me and say, you'll try and hustle and you'll try and get a cheaper price, and then we'll negotiate, and I'll say, because Titi, you're a great person, I'll give you a cheaper price, and then eventually I have overcome all your objections, and eventually I say, are you going to buy this product? And you'll go, do you know what? I will, and we close the deal, and that's it. That's the sales process. That process is the same for selling advertising, it's the same process for selling a car, it's the same process for selling a bank. So regardless of whether you're a male or a female, etc., to me that none of that matters. It's whether you understand the sales process and you have an ability to carry it through, sell the product and satisfy the customer.
Okay, can we take the process a little bit from the beginning again? So obviously, so a lot of the time I think about the product itself first. The process of selling a particular product. So do I take note of what the product is before I start going through this process?
Yeah, what you have to do is exactly what you've just articulated, but equally, you have to start now trying to figure out who's going to buy my product. So a lot of my work is about trying to sell advertising on Wake Up Nigeria. So the first question I'm asking myself every day is, who's watching Wake Up Nigeria? And because it's a breakfast show, we know it's young families, etc. So it's perfect for products that are targeting young families. So you need, first and foremost, the expression is to understand your product and your audience. You need to know who's going to buy from you. So that's the first thing you do. Then the second thing, and this process, it's a simple process. We do it every day. All we're doing now is articulating it. You find those customers. So you figure out, when you've identified the customer type, then you figure out, how am I going to find, where does that customer live, reside? You reach out, you build up a target list of customers, you set up a meeting, you go and meet, you show your product, you figure out then if that product is going to meet all the needs. And as I say then, you get into the hustle.
And then the negotiation process.
The negotiation goes on. Oftentimes, this is where the listening is really important. You'll have some reservations. You'll have some queries about whether that product's going to work in the future, what happens with warranties, etc. I will answer all those for you. We'll agree a price. And then I, as a salesperson, will be very keen to say to you, can we close the sale?
Okay, so it does feel like there are some products that are easier to sell than others. You know, some are more luxury items, some are more essential items. Now, there are probably some people that have some very unique things they want to sell and they don't know how to go about it. What's the first thing you would advise them to do?
Well, oftentimes you have business owners, and this is where this course, I think, comes into play. And business owners spend all their time creating the product. They may not be the right person to sell that product. So what they need to do is they need to engage a good salesperson. Because when you're a business owner, so much of your time and energy goes into the product and just running the business. You need a sales guy or a sales girl who will go out and sell on your behalf. It's not that the business owner can't do it, it's just their time is better employed by working on the business. And you let the salespeople go out and sell on your behalf.
All right, so I think we've covered quite a bit. We did cover what sales actually is, what it represents, but there are quite a few myths about sales that we could, address. So, for instance, what are those things that you've heard from people, about the hardest parts of sales? We made it look very rosy. Let's talk about the difficult sides.
Salespeople, good salespeople realize there will be good days and there will be bad days. The purpose of this course is to say, look, we all have the ability to sell. We are not suggesting it's an easy job. It requires persistence. You have to be consistently knocking at doors. You have competitors who are out knocking on those doors as well. So it's competitive and it's hard to do. So But if you keep knocking on 10 doors, one door will eventually open. Now, the other thing we didn't mention is that there are some really, really good sales jobs out there. And I think some of these categories will really need salespeople in the months ahead. People who've been affected by COVID and the economy. I'm thinking about the car manufacturers. They need to start selling cars again. So there will always be opportunities for salespeople in the car. Then outside of cars, property. All of that has died down, but now it's going to have to as the economy starts again. It's going to have
so we have cars, we have property, and there are probably quite a few others, but we have to still keep that. Let's keep that in the bag. When they come back next time you're here, they're going to hear a lot more about those amazing opportunities that are out there. Thank you so much, Ronan.
You're very
for
welcome.
Coming
You're very
to
welcome.
share. And I think some people were taking notes, weren't you? You were taking notes on what to do next. How much did you learn? Share it with us on social media. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. All right.
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Fantastic, Blessing.
Good
Great
morning.
to have you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Well, very well. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
So
Good,
we're really
thank
excited.
You. Thank you.
We're really excited about Dress My Nest, and we already have our very first candidate that we're going to be dressing their nest.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're going to be taking our first request for the benefits of our viewers and yourself. So enjoy this.
Hi, Blessings are. My name is Ruth. So I live here with my parents and my siblings. And I'm really tired of my house looking so dull. The place needs to be brightened up so much, and Blessizar has a very good, nice, pretty cute interior design. The curtains, they're not too good. The chairs, too dull. The dining table, it's a mess. And we need you to help us dress our nest. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's the entire house she wants us to... Blessing, did you see that? You saw that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we want you to do your magic now.
All right. All right, okay. First of all, customer already said she wanted a more brighter house, something bright. And because what she has already is drab. Okay, so you can see that the chairs are old, looking brown, dull green. And I'd like to help her pop it up a bit.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of neutral colors, like taking down the brown walls and the beige wall and putting up a light gray color wall.
Okay.
All right? And then to pop it up a bit, I'm also going to attach 3 seated sofas.
Okay.
On the 2 sides of the wall.
Okay. So Blessing, before you proceed, what's the first process that we need to take? Are we going to have to draw a floor plan? What is the first thing to do now that you're going to start the process of dressing her nest?
All right. First of all right, great. First of all, we take the request, which is what? My house is so drab, I need you to pimp it up.
All right.
So I look at the plan of the space she has.
Okay.
We take the dimensions and then we draw a plan.
Okay.
So that's design. The first thing in design is what? To sketch, draw a plan.
All right.
What she would want to have. Okay,
all
so
right.
first of all, the floor plan, you can see the floor plan there.
Okay,
right? The dimensions for the space that we're about to design.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and that's...
Yeah, we can see it.
And that space... All right, great.
All right.
All right, great. Okay, then on the floor plan, we now begin to add to it texture, we add color, we add pattern. All right? So for now, you can see that I've put in chairs to the left, to the right, and then to the back.
Yes.
Right? So as you come into the space, you have a pop of color. So I've interchanged the green she initially had, which was sage green, and used emerald green. It's bright, right?
Yeah.
And It's a pop color.
Actually.
Well, Blessing, I noticed that you have so much focus on color. Noting that it seems like a family house, what would inform your decision to use what colors and at what, different parts of the home?
Okay. Yes. Okay. I tried to stick with the color she already had in the house, which is green, brown, and then beige. Okay.
Yeah.
Color is one of the elements of design. There are about 7 elements in design. Okay. Color is one of them. We already spoke about form, which is the floor plan, as the form, that is the structure we want to create. Okay. So the color I chose is because of what she already had there, and I wanted to brighten it up already.
Yeah.
So she had them. There are about 4. She said they have about 4 in the house.
Yeah.
She, her siblings, and her parents.
Her parents, yeah.
All right. So they actually need that space, and the color is going to actually brighten up the space they already have, since she wants to maintain the same color. So I thought of the pop of green, all right, on the wall, and then the dull or somehow cool gray.
Okay.
When you mix those two together, it actually brings an attractive atmosphere.
Okay.
Is it? Oh,
That's why I chose those colors: the gray, light gray, and the pop color, which is an accent color.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've drawn the floor
brown
plan,
green.
now that we've drawn the floor plan and we know how it's supposed to come up, what's the next thing that we're going to do to dress up her nest?
All right. Okay, before we go to the final reveal, we actually have to try going through it in 3D. All right, so she can actually see, okay, do I really like what you've drawn for me? Does it really speak my taste?
Yeah.
You understand? That's the art of interior design. Does it really speak the client's taste?
Okay.
Does it really give me what I want? Does it show me who I really? Does it show people who I really am?
Yeah.
Okay, so we do the 3D effect, and she sees it virtually and says, okay, I actually might like this. Let's go ahead. So when she finally goes ahead and says, this is what I want, okay? There's some times where clients say, fine, I like this and I don't like that. Can you tweak this a bit? And so in the final reveal, she actually makes some changes and adjustments. So the green accent chairs that I had at the back of the room, she actually used that for the sofa. That's the main attraction, the sofa, the green sofa.
Yeah.
In the final reveal.
Okay.
Right? And then we have to put plants, because plants actually help bring out the space.
Oh, okay.
So we have plants, bring plants to the window.
Okay.
We expanded the window a bit.
Yeah. So Blessing, I hear you talking about these different touches, the accessories that go with the space and all of this. Now, I don't know if did you notice a rug? Was there a rug in that space, Blessing? Was there a rug? I have a question to follow that.
Yes.
There was a rug. Now, is it old school to still have a rug in your space, or is it deemed new school if you don't? Because these days people just go with a marble floor.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Is it good? Is it bad? What are your thoughts?
Okay. Marble spaces are really nice. Like the tiles we have German tiles, we have Korean tiles. Fine. They're really good because they bring out a particular kind of luxury. But for you to tie in your space, to tie in the decor, right? The comfort it brings, like for a home, for example, you have children, you have visitors come in. For you to have that comfy feel, there's always need for a rug. And that rug it will always be a color that blends all the decor together.
Tell my wife,
right.
Blessing, tell my wife.
First plan.
That was personal.
But you need for example, if you're starting a new family, you'll need rug because you have a baby. Maybe we'll be able to crawl on tiled floor.
Listen, Blessing, this is
something comfortable to perform.
This is going to be an entire
You're
subject
watching a
on its
movie,
own.
for example, evening after work.
Yeah, true. This is going to be an entire subject on its own. And would like to have you back so we can talk about it. There's so many, different preferences and thoughts
Yes,
to
this is the first
how a
time.
space should go. So we're looking forward to having you back. But we would have to call it wraps on today's segment here for Dress My Nest. And we're looking forward to everybody's requests. If you send them in, Blessing's always
Thank you very
available.
much for having
She's
me.
going to touch it up.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing.
Thank you, Blessing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, there you have it. You could be the very next guest on Dress My Nest. All you have to do is send in your request, and there she will be to help you take your nest to the next level. It's been an amazing time on Wake Up Nigeria. This is my very first time with you, so welcome to the show. Ooh, you're my favorite. All right, people, we have Tsitsi and Mickey in the kitchen. Let's go join them.
Let's go join them, yeah?
Yeah.
After you.
Yeah, so interestingly, the chef wasn't able to make it. Apparently the traffic was really tough today.
Yes.
Really tough. But not to worry, we always have something special prepared for you every single morning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be back here again from 6 a.m. tomorrow. And guess what?
What?
It's Friday!
Oh, yes. Then there is that.
Yes, so.
Yeah.
And Mazino is now like our
Games master.
And he has a very intricate game.
You're going to like this one.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we
I'm
have-
not
all
playing.
right.
You guys will play.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You will play. This one you will play.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same
Yes,
time.
indeed.
We love you all. Mwah!